morning. So I want to give you a very warm welcome to this particular show, which I created because I would like to have a conversation around the filters that block the law of attraction from actually reaching you and giving you all the abundance of love, money, and joy in your life. So my name's Moira Bush, and this is Love and Money with Moira Bush. So there is a chat box open, and good morning, Catherine. You've joined us, and we've got Lisa, fabulous Lisa from California. Hello, my darling. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining and supporting the show. Please, you'll see at the top of the comments box, if you like the show, to subscribe. And the idea behind that is that I can reach the goal, which is at this point to get to 1,000 views, so that YouTube can start taking the show a little seriously and distribute it for me. So please, if you can get people to subscribe and help me raise the numbers, that would be absolutely fabulous. And a second little link I've put in there for you is if you wish to book a private one-to-one session with me, there is a calendar link that you can copy and paste, and you can make an appointment. I've set up some dates for the next 2 weeks. So, okay, here we've got frequency. It's Nev. Hi, Nev. Wonderful. And Zane, hello, my darling. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining the show and supporting it. Please share. Okay, right. So episode 1 of this show, we looked at a red card and it was judgment. Episode 2, we looked at another red card and red topic, and that was defend. Today, we are looking at the very last red in the series, which is boundaries. Okay, so there we are to show you the card for you. Okay, it's the color ruby red, and ruby red is in color psychology, a color that can depict patterns or beliefs and habits that you've inherited from the family gene pool. So think for a moment, what did your family teach you about boundaries? And are any of those boundaries based on fear? So that is going to be some energy work for you, and some alerts that you can kind of look at the week ahead and just look into the topic of boundaries. Okay. Right, so there are 2 filters I'd like to talk about today. And the first one is the box, and the second one is the no. Okay, so the box and the no. Do you put a box around things? Do you say no? Is that your go-to response? So just think about that for a moment. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples. In love, in relationships, what I often see is when people say, "Oh, I'm looking for the love of my life. I'm opening up to meeting a soulmate, or I'm just want to start dating again," and then they go about listing their box of criteria. In that box is the person has to be a certain age, the person has to have certain personality traits, the person has to have certain financial criteria, the person has to be tall, thin, short. There's just all these rules that go into this box. And what that does is, of course, it limits the adventure that you could have with a potential partner that would just blow all those walls, those boundaries that you've built up, that box that you've built up. Okay. If I think back to when I met my Canadian husband, Paul, and I almost didn't go to the event, the dinner event, because I kind of knew he was going to be there. And when I met him, I thought, oh, thank God, I didn't have to fear coming to meet a new man because he's too old for me. And straight away, I was in one of the rules that are in my boxes. And if I had stuck to that rule and just walked away, I would have missed 18 years of the happiest years of my life with my husband, and having moved to Canada and having this wonderful adventure living at the top of the world. So I want you to think about, where do you box in your love and your relationship certain criteria and rules, and that limits who you can interact with, who you can have adventures with. Now, in business, you can also box yourself up. I kind of discovered I did that recently with myself as well. And I'll give you the example in a moment. But you can box yourself in so much that you don't open up to support from others. I see this. It's a typical pattern with entrepreneurs who work for themselves. They do all the marketing, they do the accounts, they do all the sales, they do all the product creation, they do all the activities, and they just work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they don't open up to support. So I want you to think about it. If you are an entrepreneur and you are in business, where are you not delegating? Where are you not allowing other people to come in and support you? So in my case, the recent one I discovered, a box I put myself into, is I'm the facilitator of the Love and Money boot camps. Who says that? Who put that rule in my head that says I have to be in control and manage and run all the boot camps? And so I decided to challenge myself and step out of my box and not put a boundary in place. And recently announced that I am going to be opening up and creating a program for people who actually want to teach and be a facilitator of the Love and Money boot camps themselves. And that way, the message that I really want to get out to the world is now being given through other people. I'm not the only one doing it. Can you see how that can you really make a difference on the planet if your core reason for being a business is to be of service and to help? Okay, so I learned that one the hard way. um, so what are you learning when you put boundaries in place? I think personally for me, it is about that when do you say no? When do you say no that it is respectful of your time and your own system, your value systems? I think that is what we are learning. I have a book called Eight Colors of Prosperity, and in there and on my boot camps, I put a challenge out there to the readers and to the participants in the boot camps. Say yes and turn up when new things present. Just say yes and turn up and see what happens. But every now and again, there is a reason to say no. But you can do it in a way that it is kind and that it reflects your value systems or your beliefs. So recently I was asked to join an organization, a women's business organization. And I didn't quite align with their beliefs. I have a belief that says you don't fight it right, you love it right. And there was an element in their organization that is about standing up for the rights and fighting for the rights. It didn't align with me. And I just said no, very, very gently, in a way that when something like this, I didn't use the word no either, because I think it's very hard to say just straight out no. I just said, I have other priorities that I need to focus on and that are going to require my full attention at this time. But thank you very much for the invitation. So you can word it in a way that it is not hard and that it is not going to make you feel like you're a no person. Okay. So what I'd like you to do, your 911 alert for the week, to work on your boundaries and pick up any unhealthy boxes and no's out there, is just listen for when you say no as your first response. When somebody says, are you going to come out? Just go no. Shall we go for dinner? No. So watch out for when that no comes in. It's very cutting and it's very definite and it's a box. It immediately limits your potential. Take a deep breath before you respond and just go, what can I say besides no? Or maybe should I be saying yes and seeing what happens, what potentially can unfold. It's a little bit of an adventure this week in saying yes instead of no. And if you hear the no, just soften it and change it a little bit. So that is our filters for today, the box and the no. Now, I would love to come and have a look and see who's joining us. And if anybody would like me to pull a card for you, let's just have a look. You are very welcome to just pop in. Let's have a look here. Lisa's also joined. Hi. Other Lisa. I've got two Lisas on today. Would anybody like me to draw a card for you this week? One that says this is a potential filter in place between you and the law of attraction with love and money, or love or money. I'm going to shuffle and I'll just wait till somebody asks. Can I have a card? Fabulous, Anaya. So I'm shuffling for you now. Oh, Zane, it's the celibate card. And actually, this does pull in quite strongly into the topic of today's show, which is that boundaries. Sometimes we can create boundaries through, and celibacy doesn't always necessarily mean, sexual celibacy. This could be wanting to be on your own, wanting to create on your own, wanting to take control of everything on your own as well. Okay, isolating yourself and just sticking with what you know. Think about the nuns and the monks who stick to their religious order and to their beliefs, and they will die by those beliefs. So this is saying there's some strong beliefs that you can have a breakthrough on this week, and just have a look at where can you invite support in, look at where you say no and you can maybe say yes, okay, so that you don't lead a life like a nun or a monk. And I have a feeling this is to do with love as well as money. So it's to do with your business and it's to do with your personal life. I hope that is useful for you. Okay. It also says, I love the positive on this card. I enjoy physical activities with my body and I am sexy. So, Zane, get that. You are sexy. I hope that is useful, darling. Okay. Catherine Bork would like a card today as well. Okay, let me do a second one. I'm normally only doing one, but let me do a second one if you're okay to hang in for another minute. So I'm going to shuffle. And Catherine, let's have a look. I'm shuffling. I'm just going to stop when I intuitively feel it. And we're going to pick one for you. Okay, this one here. Depressed. Depressed. Okay, now this is the very interesting card when it comes to the red boundaries, because red and violet make magenta. And I'm feeling, and I'm not feeling that you're depressed at this point in time. I'm feeling that this is something to do with you expanding your horizons and working with people who are experiencing a state of sadness and depression and stuckness, and you helping them come out of it. So I think the way you work, there's going to come a shift. There's going to come a change in the way you work with clients and the way you work with the beautiful families and communities that you have around you. And I think it's going to be to look at the issues where they have maybe gone underground with some of their feelings, because that's what depressed is. It's anger that's gone underground. Okay. And I think you're going to be spreading some cheer and some revitalized energy and new information out into your circles. I hope that is useful. I'm going to just do a quick little spray of the red angel in the color mirrors system. I love this bottle. It's the angel of magic and miracles. So as we end our little connection with red, I'm going to just take a deep breath in with the red and spread it out to everybody that I love and know, and all of you, especially supporting the show, and say thank you so much, and wishing you miracles and wishing you prosperity. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next week when we start dipping into the pink vibrations.